Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to be reading you the story of Clark the Shark. If you don't know me already, my name is Miss Barakos, and I can't wait to share this story with you. So our main character is Clark, and he is a shark. And this book, the author that wrote this book, his name is Bruce Hale. And the illustrator, who is the person that drew all the pictures, is Guy Francis. So let's see what Clark is going to do. I see that he has a desk and a chair, so that makes me think that he's going to school. Let's see what happens. Clark the Shark. And now look, he's got books and he's got pencils and an apple. I definitely think he's going to school. We normally go to school in a school bus, or maybe you ride with your parents or somebody that drives you to school, but he gets to ride to school in a school bus submarine. How cool is that? I want to go into that. So here he is. He's in his school bus and he's going to school. And the name of his elementary school is Theodore Roosterfish Elementary School. Now we go to Mimosa Elementary, but he goes to Theodore Roosterfish Elementary. In all the wide blue seas, in all the wild blue world, the top school for fish was Theodore Roosterfish Elementary. And of all the fish at Theodore Roosterfish, the biggest and the strongest was Clark the Shark. Clark loved school, and he loved his teacher, Miss Inky Dink. He loved to play upsy-downsy and spin-a-ma-jig with his friends, and Clark loved his life. It's like a great life, don't you think? School is awesome, shouted Clark the Shark. Less shouting, more reading, said Mrs. Inky Dink. Lunchtime is sweet, yelled Clark the Shark. Munch on your own lunch, said his best friend Joey Mackerel. Recess rocks, bellowed Clark the Shark. You are playing rough, Clark, cried out the other kids. He's being too aggressive with them. If you notice, they're all really small, and Clark is pretty big. So they're just not happy with the way that he's playing with them. Yes, Clark loved his life with all of his sharky heart, but he loved everything way too much. He was too loud. He was too wild. He was just too much shark for the other fish to handle. After a while, no one would play with Clark. No one ate lunch with him. No one sat with him at the circle time. And even his best friend, Joey Mackerel, said, "Cool your jets, Clark. You're driving me crazy." Actually, he said, "You're making me crazy." And if you look over here, Clark does not look very happy right now. He looks very sad and lonely. One day, Clark asked Miss Inky Dink, "What's wrong with everyone?" Miss Inky Dink patted his fin and said, "Clark, sometimes you play too hard, much too hard. And gosh, you even help too hard. But life is so exciting," said Clark. And Miss Inky Dink said, "There's a time and a place for everything," said Miss Inky Dink. "And sometimes the rule is stay cool. Stay cool." At recess, Clark tried to stay cool, but he pushed the swing with too much zing, so he was like, "Sorry," said Clark, "I forgot." "Yikes!" cried Joey Mackerel. And if you see Joey right here, he looks like he's going to fly right off the swing. And at lunch, Clark tried to stay cool, but everything smelled so good that he munched a bunch of lunches. "Sorry," said Clark, "I forgot." "We're starving," said his friends. If you notice down here, he is eating all of their lunches. I think I would be a little bit upset if somebody ate all of my lunch. In class, Clark tried to stay cool, but a good book got him all shook up. Have you ever felt that way about like a really exciting story that you just get so excited? "Now, Clark," said Mrs. Inky Dink, "this isn't the time or the place. Tell me, what's the rule?" "Stay cool," said Clark. "Hey, that rhymes," he cried. Then Clark got a big idea in his sharky head. Maybe if I make a rhyme, I'll remember every time, he thought, and the next day he put his plan to work. Let's see what happens. In class, when lessons got exciting, Clark wanted to bounce up and out of his seat. Instead, he told himself, "When teacher's talking, don't go walking." And what do you know? It worked. "Attaboy, Clark," said Mrs. Inky Dink. Clark smiled. Lessons are fun. Okay, if you notice here, you see Clark at lunch with Joey Mackerel. And do you see that he's eating his own lunch? He's not eating Joey's lunch. He's just eating his own. So he's thinking in his head about how to maintain his excitement and keep it to himself instead of making everybody else feel a little bit nervous. At lunch, everything smelled so yummy. And when Clark wanted to eat and never stop, he told himself, "Only munch on your own lunch." And it worked again. "Way to go, Clark." I almost said Carl. "Way to go, Clark," said his friends. And Clark grinned and he said, "Lunch is fun." And everybody over here is just cheering him on. They're really excited for him. All right, now Clark looks like he's at recess on a seesaw with some of his friends. And if you notice, he is very big. So the seesaw is like this because all of the other fish over here are not heavy enough to weigh him down. At playtime, Clark told himself, "Easy does it. That's the way. Then my friends will let me play." And playtime was fun. Once more, Clark loved his life. I wonder what's going to happen next. Uh-oh. But then a shadow fell across the playground. A ginormous shadow with tentacles galore. "It's a new kid, and he looks scary," cried Joey Mackerel. "Swim for your lives!" The squid squashed the slide, and it snapped off the swings. "Oops, my bad," said the new kid. Uh-oh. What's going to happen now? "Wait," said Clark. He just wants to play. Let's find a way. And he swam at the new kid with all of his might. Clark played harder than he had ever before. Upsy-downsy and spin-a-ma-jig. Why, he even made up a new game. Tail-wump-a-lumpus. Wonder what that game is like. Wow! That was fun, said the new kid breathlessly, and he settled down. If you want to come to school, you gotta stay cool, said Clark. That's right, Clark, said Mrs. Inkydink, and thanks for taking care of our new classmate, Sid the Squid. Hooray for Clark the Shark! Everyone cheered. And as you can see, he looks very excited and happy that everybody's cheering for him. Now he's on the school bus going home. And guess who meets him at home? His mama. So that night, Clark's mother asked, "What did you learn at school, dear?" "There's a time and a place for everything," Clark said. "Sometimes you gotta stay cool. But sometimes a shark's gotta do what a shark's gotta do." And that is the end of that story. So Clark the Shark was a really good helper. He was a really good friend. He was just a little bit too much at times. So remember that when you're doing things, you don't want to be always too much. You want to be just enough. Have a great day. Bye.